Hello everybody, this is Kysen here, and welcome to another episode here on our MineColonies series. Now, a few of you have asked me if I could upload my streams to YouTube, the streams that I do on Twitch. Link to my Twitch in the description if you do want to catch those ever. I also do reruns of them, so you don't necessarily have to see them live. And also a few of you have said you'd like to see more of a Let's Play styled episode. So that's what we're actually going to do today. Rather than talking about one specific thing, as I often do in my previous episodes, we're going to do a handful of different things, and this will be a longer episode, a bit more relaxed and chilled out and that type of thing. Now, down in the video comments, I will pin a comment with timestamps so you can see the sort of chapters of this video and move on to whichever part interests you most if you don't want to sit here through the whole thing. But if you are looking to just kick back and relax, then please feel free to do so. Sit back, enjoy, get your healthy snacks, and we're going to do a few different things today, a sort of array of different things in game here today. And the first thing we're going to do is upgrade our miner hut. Again, this was a request from someone in one of my comments saying they were having some difficulties with the miner. So we'll have a look at what we have here first, and then we'll do the upgrade. Now, first of all, this cactus stuff here, this is not part of the miner hut. Okay, I added this, as many of you will no doubt know. But the idea behind adding this was, for some reason, the version I was playing at the time wanted cactus wood slabs. The worker, the actual miner, that's Jennifer in here, she wanted cactus wood slabs to do her business, right, to do her work. And so we had to start growing cactus, and I figured I'd grow it near the miner. That has now changed, so I believe that was a bug or a mistake in a previous version of MineColonies. And so today we're going to get rid of this as we upgrade the building because we no longer need it, and move on to what we do need for her to actually do the work. Okay, very good. We got rid of all of that. So we're going to have a little look at what's here at the moment. Inside, this is what it looks like. This is the hut and stuff. And let's see if she has any requests. She does have a request for a pickaxe. So we could definitely fulfill that. Let's also have a little look at this mine here. Now, this is the way it is at the moment. Now, I always glitch on these ladders for some reason. Don't know if anybody else has that issue, but there we go. So anyway, she's done all these different levels like this. And as you can see at this level, we've actually got some mine shafts going off as well. And when she gets to this area, she then goes this way. So she actually has been busy, doing the mining stuff at this level. But I believe this is the only level that she's done where she's mined off in shafts. Like none of the ones above, and not here either has she done anything else. So we need to give her the materials that she needs in order to build these, and obviously we need to give her the pickaxe. And what we're going to do is see what happens when we upgrade to a level 2 miner and how these mine shafts change. So let's start by, we're going to head over to our warehouse. We do have a warehouse. It's not currently set up properly. The warehouse and the delivery man, they're not particularly working well. Again, I've mentioned this before, but we do get a few little bugs when we play in the latest version, and so it's something that probably won't be an issue if you're playing on a version that's been fully released and tested and that type of thing. But yeah, just an issue for us at the moment. So we've got tons of these pickaxes in here, and the whole thing's a bit of a mess, so I'm going to need to sort that out in a future episode. I think we'll need to do a future episode dedicated to just the warehouse and delivery system, because it's not only the buildings, but it's also actually getting the workers efficiently working by going around the town and delivering the resources that the citizens are requesting to the correct citizens. So there's a whole sort of thing about that, and I think that does warrant a video all by itself. So today's episode is going to be almost like a stream in the way that I'm going to record it, but we will do some cuts and things as well. I'm going to try and find a good balance between what I normally do and a bit of a longer episode that's been requested. So in the inventory here, nothing particularly that we need. In her inventory, we'll take the iron because we're really low on it, but again, nothing particularly that we need. So that should be her requests fulfilled. Yes. So now you should be able to go away, Jennifer, and do some more mining. Here she goes. And I just want to check on her and see what she's actually going to get up to here. So let's follow her down and see where she's off to. If we can get down these ladders. Again, they are a bit buggy for me. I think she's working on the bottom level. So let's see what our Y coordinate is here as well. So this is a Y of 50, what about 58 there at the moment, right? So 50, actually, it looked a bit different on the mini-map. Now she's actually gone off here. And it looks like she's working more on this. So this is what she's doing currently, and the reason for checking all of this stuff is so that when I upgrade this miner, we can see the difference and sort of compare the two, and hopefully it'll work well. And in terms of if you're having any problems with this, it's going to depend, I suppose, specifically on what the problem you're having is. Unfortunately, well, fortunately and unfortunately, I have not had any problems with my miner. I've set it up and she is mining. So if you are having issues, I'm not sure how much troubleshooting advice I can give you, other than to say perhaps checking the wiki, and the best option is always to go to the MineColonies Discord, and I will link that in the video. If I forget, do give me a nudge, and I'll put it in, because the MineColonies Discord is a fantastic resource to help you out figuring things out. I use it a lot myself, and I can say that all of the staff on there and just the other general players and things on there, they are very good at getting back to you, and they have a very good knowledge base as well. So that will definitely really help you. But we'll see what we can do today in the meantime. So let's see, the builder, it has been started to build. So these are the resources that we need. Let's see, we're actually going to be able to do a lot of this without having to do too much resource gathering. So for example, those are enough torches. We need 52 cobblestone stairs as well. Now cobblestone I do have a bit more of now because I found a load in my warehouse. So I was running low, but we're actually not doing too badly now. So yeah, resources got kind of trapped over there. As I say, that whole system needs to be sorted. 54 oak planks, so we'll just give them a stack. I always give them too many because at the end of the day they can use them in the future. They'll store whatever they don't use, so it sort of makes sense to do that. A red bed. Now we do have wool over here, but not enough, so we'll go over to the sheep farm. Now I mentioned this in a stream I did recently on Twitch, but I do recommend, if you are new to MineColonies, that you look to go and get yourself a sheep farm set up reasonably early, and whilst you're exploring looking for a base, collect lots of dyes and dye your sheep different colours, because the amount of times I have to come and do this has been many times, and so you want to get that set up early because it just makes good sense. I in fact may look to do a sheep farm on this series at some point, where we have all of the different colours of wool and it is automatically collected for us, because I do know how important it is to have all this wool, and I guarantee that if you've played this pack for a little bit of time and you're building buildings that are similar to mine, that you will be requiring a lot of wool as well. So I'm sure that would be a popular video to see the ways that we could do that. But in the meantime, we're going to continue fulfilling the work order here. Okay, I just had to do a little cough, I'm back. So we want diorite and we want granite and that sort of thing. So it looks like just 4 of each. Now I never have too much of this stuff, and every now and again I have to go off and do big mining sessions for it. And I did one of those on stream, actually, some of you will have seen, and it was a bit of a pain, to say the least. It took us ages to find it. So again, my advice to you, if you're mining early game, don't neglect granite, diorite and andesite as you perhaps normally would, like I do in my vanilla worlds, because in this game it's probably going to be needed. And really, I think that is actually a fundamental part of the game, is to try to gather all resources. I know that's difficult when you're starting out, to spend lots of time gathering all the different resources. Oh my goodness, we're running way lower on this stuff than I thought. We've been doing a lot of work on the walls. In fact, if I get my journey map up, you can see here now the walls go from here right the way around like this, so about halfway there. But on these bits here, we've actually built them right down to sea level, and I will show that in a second as well. That was something else we did on the last stream. And thank you to everybody who turned up for that. I actually got a lot of help and input from MineColonies viewers, so that was greatly appreciated. It is very nice to always incorporate your guys' ideas into what we're doing here and make it a bit of a collaborative effort. It's very nice to do that. So in terms of the fence, it's spruce fence, so I've just made up a load of fence that I don't use. Whoops. Okay, spruce fence we have at least, so that should now be fulfilled. Spruce logs and spruce planks and stairs. Okay, there's only 6 stairs, so those 2 with 4 more planks will actually fulfill that one, and then we'll see if we have enough for the logs and things. Sorry, 6 more planks, which makes 4 more stairs is what I meant to say. I actually tricked myself there. So there we go, that's that one done, and then it was 28 logs, 39 planks. So easiest way to do this is grab out whatever we got there. So it was 28 of those, and let's see. That should be enough, almost, of those, another couple. There we go. And put these back. Now, because I'm running low on spruce, I'm not going to give too much more than what they need. We're going to be a bit more frugal with that to save it for the future. And some white stained glass panes, and that was 8 of those. So let's see, we can make up all of these here, put the 8 there. And again, I'm going to keep hold of those as well, because they are a bit rarer as a resource, of course. Oh my goodness, we are missing bedtime. So let's have a little sleep. Always try to sleep very early in the night. And Excuse me. I actually just took a sip of water there. I think streaming is rubbing off on me a little bit because I almost never do that when I'm recording. But as I say, I'm taking a much more casual approach to this episode, and we'll see what sort of response it gets. If it is something you guys enjoy, then these types of episodes are probably actually easier for me to record. So it is something that I could potentially do more of in the future. We'll see how this one goes. I will still keep the tutorial style as well, though, for certain episodes, because I do try with my channel in general to just deliver information as quickly as possible on certain topics, because I know that if you're specifically looking for example, how to make a barracks in MineColonies, which was my last episode on here, then you really just want to come along, get that information and do it without necessarily watching lots of what I'm doing. Okay, so Jennifer has a request there, and we're actually going to look on the clipboard for that. So I'll talk a little bit about my process as well. Let me just find, clipboard is there. Okay, great. So generally what I'll do when I play MineColonies is I'll start a building project like I've done there, and the next thing I'll do is I'll look at my clipboard and I'll see what is being requested and what we can fulfill and that type of thing. Some of these are really easy, right? We just need some paper. The raw beef is a bit more difficult because we don't have it. So, you know, some are easy, some are difficult requests. Now, unfortunately, I'm not seeing any requests from Jennifer on here, so I'm not sure what we can do on here to help her out, but the backup plan is, of course, to go up to Jennifer and ask her what her requests are. And again, this is a slight sort of bug or issue or whatever. It's only because I'm playing in this latest version. So she's off down this one here. Let's see, what is it you want? Okay, so she wants space in her building chest. Now, what that means is her chest that is up in her hut has become full, and she would like me to take some of those items out so that she can place things from her inventory into that chest. And this is where the delivery man and warehouse system that I mentioned earlier would come into its own. So you can see here, there's all this stuff that she's got. Now, I want to take out things that she's not going to need, but leave all the things that she might need. And actually, all this stuff we can go and give straight to our guards. So that's worked out very nicely. But she needs none of this stuff that I've taken out, but she will need all the stuff I've left in. So we'll leave all that there. We'll go and put this away. And what the... Oh, okay, yeah, he's building the new thing. So I'm sure this will make sense in a sec. Right now it looks a bit odd, but yeah, we'll see how that develops as we go. So it's just about being efficient, really. And another way you can be efficient, one thing I do check reasonably often, is I'll come into the university, because this is done literally on a time basis. So with your research areas here, they actually just take time. So you need to sort of get on with those reasonably quickly. Because, like, okay, these are only an hour, it's not too bad, but before you know it, these take 8 hours, so we want to progress through quickly. And I'm going to get the 8 hay bales that are required there to improve my citizens' health. Obviously, that will mean that fewer citizens will die, and the benefits of that are happiness. So a happiness factor, as we talked about in a previous episode, is how often your citizens are dying. So it'll be good to prevent it and get better happiness. The other thing that it will do is it'll give us better skilled villagers, because obviously if they're not dying, they're staying in their jobs longer, and because of that, we will get better workers from it. So definitely worth getting this underway whilst we are sort of doing other things. You want as many things going on in the background as possible at any one time if you're looking to progress through this pack quickly and efficiently. So now we're going to go and put away all of our inventory stuff here that we just took away from our miner. So again, the storage is getting a little bit messy, and it's probably something we're going to have to sort out at some point. But for now, we should be okay. Now the coal goes in here. We've got some clay, which I don't even know what we're doing with clay at the moment. We can try. Yeah, okay. That's a good nice thing about these drawers. You don't have to look through it. You can just right-click, and if you have it, it'll put that away for you. So this is why I added some of these plugins I said about just quality of life type of things, because they really are quite useful. I guess we'll chuck this in here for now. I'm not too worried about that. Now let's go and see, what are we missing here? We're missing leather chest plate. So let's see if we have enough leather now. And we do for the chest plate. And we'll give that to our guard. So in the previous episode, we built a barracks and barracks tower. And we had a guard that we hired there, but we weren't able to give him any resources yet, like the weapons or armor that he wants. But today we can fulfill that, and that'll be useful to do. So he should be around here somewhere. There he is. He is, in fact, right in his tower. And he does have a sword, at least, so that's something. Yes, let me... if you just wait, we'll give you all of this stuff. There you go. And let's give him a spare sword. Or we'll give him a bow. We can give him arrows in the future, whatever. I don't need that bow on me, so he now should be pretty happy. And if we go to our clipboard, the requests should be way fewer. Yes, okay, good. Now, the issue with this stuff here, Liam wanting all this stuff, is Liam is our doctor, and doctors like to have all these random little things for their remedies and that. So that's a little bit of something I'm going to have to work on a longer term basis, building up all the stuff he wants for that. So we'll have to kind of see how that goes. Now, let's go down to the builder's hut. What I'll generally do is do that sort of admin work like I've just done there, then run to my builder hut and see what percentage through the builder is. If he's close to finishing, we might just wait and then have a look at how that is. 65% for a small build like this means that it's not going to take him too much longer to finish it, particularly as he has all the resources. So what I would do now is probably just go and work on my wall. What I'm going to do today is show you guys the wall that we built in the stream, and you will see the difference, and you can obviously make your suggestions if you have anything you think would look good. But basically, we've just gone right down into the sea around this corner. So you can see not this bit here, but starting from there, the wall has got much bigger, and we'll go take a look at that now. Okay, so at the moment we don't have an easy way out, so we're just going to kind of jump and go down like this. So the best vantage point for this is probably over here, and I can show you exactly what we've done then. Here we go. Okay, so as you can see, the walls have been extended right the way down. We've maintained the stairs along the bottom as we did on the shorter one. We've also maintained, of course, the fence and the lanterns on the top and the stairs there. So we've kept a similar sort of design. The reason for these bits here in the middle is it just wouldn't look right, I don't think, to have all the stone there. And these were reasonably popular on the stream, so we went with them. I've shortened the sugarcane farm to do this as well, just to mention that. And I've also terraformed here a little bit. I mean, that's a bit of a leap to say I've terraformed, but I've placed dirt down like this to make it look like we've just built right up to the edge of the dirt here of the land available to us in this area. So it sort of looks, you know, like it's just been built on the land there rather than it being, as it was, built into the ocean. So we thought that would look good. Now, in terms of specifically this area up here, let's go over here a second. This is obviously where the barracks is. And once the barracks gets up to like level 5, we're going to connect up the walls and the barracks and the guard towers and all that good stuff and make this into a really nice entrance area. Ash is having a little snooze. I love that they just sit down and go to sleep like this. That's brilliant. So this is only a level 1 barracks right now with the level 1 barracks towers. We do have level 3 guard towers that we built, so that's cool. But once we get that to full, that's when we'll connect all of this stuff up, so that will be good. Okay, so let's go ahead and see how this miner building is looking. It looks like it is starting to take shape. You can definitely see a few differences from the previous one. Pretty cool building, actually. The Nordic buildings, they do look good, don't they? I'm a big fan of those. So what I'll do now is I'll probably just wait until Kennedy finishes the mine here. Shouldn't take him too much longer. He's just got a few more things to do. And then we'll come back in, we'll have a look at the mine when it's been updated, and talk about a few other mine things, and then we will move on to something else. Okay guys, so there we have it. A miner level 2 has been built, and I have to say it is a rather nice looking building. Certainly looking forward to seeing what that looks like at level 5. But for now, let's go have a little look inside, and there is a slight change inside as well, in that we do now have a second level here you can go up to with a bed. So there we go, a little area there for afternoon rest between mining sessions, I suppose, for our miner. Now, in terms of the actual mine block itself here, the GUI for this, obviously this is, you know, where you manage your workers and access the inventory and stuff like that. The other thing you can do, though, is you can look at the levels section. Now, you see this one here is red. Now what that means is this is the level that our current miner is going to be mining. So at this level here, this white 56 level and 3 above, I believe, is where she's going to mine. And if we go down into the mine, you can kind of see that as well. So let's just jump down in here. I can show you this properly. In fact, there she goes right now. That was good timing. So here we go. So if we press F3 right now, Y56, 57, 58 is what she's mining and making the mine and all that sort of stuff. Okay, she's moaning about sleep, but that's okay. As long as she doesn't need an item, we're good. Okay, so say that has to do for now. No more requests. Okay, very good. So yeah, this is how you can sort of toggle that. And it sort of shows you here as well, right? You've got these signs here. So there we go. Mine at level 56, nodes 20. And so on and so forth. And as the miner gets better and gets the ability to use better tools and improves their skill level and things like that, they will mine lower and lower down, all the way down to eventually get into bedrock. So that's how that works. Now, if you're having issues with your miner not mining, first of all, do make sure they've got all the materials that they need and check their requests. Specifically, they're going to need a lot of, pickaxes and torches, and obviously whatever the build material is for the style of mine you've gone for. So in my case, lots of spruce wood and planks and fence and that sort of thing. So make sure they have all of that. The other thing you can try is you can fire them. You can fire and then hire them. Now, that sometimes will work and sometimes won't, but I have done that in the past myself with other workers, and it did indeed work. So you can try that as well. But other than that, I'm not sure about troubleshooting or what to say. Other than do check on the Discord, as I mentioned before. Okay, so with our mine up and running, the next thing I thought I'd take a look at today is our hospital. So our hospital is currently just at level 1, and it's a rather small building. So I figured now would be a nice time to upgrade that in today's episode and get us to a hospital level 2. So we're going to come in here and not manage workers. We're going to build options, select Kennedy, and we're going to hit the upgrade button. There we go. So we're going to wait for him to take up that request, and then we're going to see exactly what the request entails and what we're going to need resource-wise. So let's see here. So pretty much things that we have. It's a little bit grindy making some of this stuff off camera though, like these oak timbers and things like that. So I think what I will do is now go away again, get all this stuff done, get the hospital upgraded, and then we'll come back and we'll have a better look at that. We might also just take a look at whether we can fulfill some of these requests. For example, I could easily start a potato farm. I have a gold farm, so we could give them a load of golden apples and search for a few of the other things. And while it's being built, I'll also fulfill some of these other requests. As I mentioned before, that's what I like to do. So yeah, let's get those materials together and build ourselves a better hospital. The hospital has now been upgraded, and it's actually quite the improvement. It looks a lot better already, in my opinion. I do like the flags outside. I was calling them English flags in a previous episode, but someone said, no, they're just health flags, just the sign of the sort of international symbol for health. Well, they do look like an English flag. You got to give me that, right? Either way, I think they're a really nice touch on the hospital building. So if we have a little look inside, we can look at the differences now. We have 2 beds here like this, as you can see, and I guess this is the staff area where they make their notes and that sort of thing. So all it really means by upgrading to a level 2 hospital as opposed to a level 1 is that we can now have 2 people being treated in here at any one time. So that's really the only difference, and obviously the aesthetic changes in that it looks different. And a lot nicer and that type of thing. So yeah, pretty good. Nice to get that one upgraded, and we'll continue to upgrade our buildings and things. I normally do the upgrading in streams, but as this is a bit of a stream type of episode, I thought it would be okay. The next thing I would like to do is upgrade the barracks, because it's still, level 1 is pretty basic, and we want to get this to level 5 reasonably quickly, because then we can get this wall sorted as well. So let's come in here. Let's see what we've got here. Build options. Get Kennedy to do some upgrading for us, and then once again we'll check what materials are needed for that, and hopefully it's nothing too crazy. Should be really just materials that we'll have, lots of wood and stone and stuff. We'll have to double check that, of course, but yeah, so as soon as he starts that we can check. Normally it would have started by now, so I'm not sure why he hasn't. We did have a pirate ship turn up, you can see there in chat. I didn't worry about it though. If you leave them, they will just kind of go away, so yeah, sort of what I did. Now I'm a little bit concerned here as to why he hasn't started the build yet. So I want to go to the builder's hut, see if we can find him. Maybe we should recall him as well if it's maybe he's got stuck somewhere or something like that. So let's recall the worker. No, sorry, this one. There we go, there he is. So go on, buddy, go start this build. I want to see what materials are required. Because right now, until they start, this stays empty. Again, he always goes up there rather than coming this way, which is annoying when he's got buildings that he's supposed to be doing over here. It takes him so much longer to get there than needs be. I think as well, though, another way to see what's going to be required is on the actual building that you're upgrading itself. You would have seen there before, there are a list of materials. But I think it's while you're doing the upgrade. So once you've done that, once you're at this point, you have to wait and use the resource scroll. So, yeah, come on, Kennedy, what's happening? Let's see if he's getting stuck somewhere. Because I've had that a few times before. I've had to change little parts of the town if they're getting stuck. I mean, he came sort of down this way, and now he's disappeared. It's really bizarre. I was actually thinking it'd be cool if they integrated with Journeymap, where you could press J and see where your different citizens are. but unfortunately they don't. So I guess I'll try and figure out exactly what was going on off camera and get those materials together, and then we'll upgrade the barracks as we go through. And we'll also upgrade, because when you get to a level 2 barracks, you can have 2 guard towers. So we'll get ourselves a second guard tower in as well. I'm hoping they make it this one in this corner, that far corner there, so it'll tie up nicely, but we'll see about that when we come back. So guys, I was wondering where Kennedy had got to, so I decided to recall him and follow him. And this is what we found. He's come in and gone to sleep. And this is just hilarious. I've told him to go and do some work, and he's just run and gone to sleep. And he's not the only one. They're all slacking off. Now, this is entirely my own fault. Because I sleep as soon as it turns to nighttime, they don't actually get a chance to sleep. I did cover this in a previous episode when we were talking about happiness, as sleep is highly linked to that. But you do need to give them a few seconds to sleep each nighttime, and I haven't been doing that. So, yeah. If you don't do that, that's what happened, guys. They will sleep instead of working through the day. So, yeah, we're going to wait. We're going to let him sleep. The only sort of cure for this is to just give him time to do his sleeping and rest up and that type of thing, and then he will get on with the building. I just thought that was pretty funny, so I thought I'd show that and also mention it, because if you're having a similar sort of problem, then that could be the thing. They might be just in their beds. Okay, so our builder has now started building, and you can see here it's given us a list of things that we need. Nothing too bad by the looks of things, and we're going to get on with that off camera and do the build. But I thought I'd talk briefly about sleep for a second, in case any of you are having sort of similar issues where your villagers need to sleep. Your citizens, I should say. So I let them sleep through an entire night. That seems to be what you need to do. I tried one night where I let them sleep and I slept myself, but that didn't work. Even though I gave them time to sleep in the night, they stayed in bed the next day. So then I decided to let them sleep through an entire night, and I sort of stayed on guard. Now, this can be challenging, and if you're early game in particular, it might be a challenge. So I do want to offer a suggestion. And that is, on your difficulty, you could set it to peaceful. Now, if you do that, of course, no mobs can spawn. And you can set it to peaceful and then just go about your business in the evening, doing some mining or woodcutting or whatever you want to do while they're sleeping. And you don't have to worry about loads of mobs spawning and then protecting them the following morning. Now, this may feel a little bit cheaty, but I thought I'd just offer it as a suggestion because it may help some people out. And at the end of the day, protecting citizens from mobs is part of the game, but it's more about protecting them from raids, and also it's more about building up the town. So I figured I would offer it as a suggestion. I know a lot of you will also already know this, but I thought I would still mention it as a possibility. I think the best thing, though, with sleep is to try and let them sleep a few minutes each night time. So up in my top right corner here, I have a clock. Now, you may not, depending on what mods and stuff you're using. We just got first aid. They've all got more health. That's awesome. Basically, once it turns to the point where you could go to sleep, I let it go for another about 30 in-game minutes. Now, one thing you could do, if you don't have that sort of luxury, is make a clock. So I'm actually going to make a clock here. I thought I had one, but I'll just make one very quickly and show you guys something that'll give you an indication as to when exactly you could potentially sleep. So here's a clock. So at the moment, we can see the clock here. In our hotbar, we've got this black line going like this, and this will go down like this as the day progresses, as the sun gets higher in the sky. And when it's nighttime, it is actually sort of directly like this. So what I'm going to do actually is see where I'm open to land. So I can go /time set, and let's do it at about 14,000 might be about right. So there we go. So now it's starting to turn to nighttime. I actually need to go a little bit less. Let's go maybe 12,500, because I want to show you this just very quickly. Okay, that's about perfect. So you can see there the clock. It's just teetering between, there we go, it's now just moved to being exactly like that. As soon as it gets to that, you can sleep if you want to. So if you're trying to let your villagers sleep, just let that black bit go a little bit more this way and then sleep in the nighttime. It just gives your villagers time, or your citizens time, to get into their beds, and you can watch and make sure they're getting into their beds. You see here, so let them get in there, wait like a little bit of time once they're in the bed, and then sleep yourself. And then that way they'll get a little bit of sleep each night, and you shouldn't have to lose like a day's work from them. So just a couple of tips there on sleep. We're going to go ahead and get the building done, and I'll bring you guys back in once that has been completed. So we have a barracks level 2, guys. It is already quite the improvement on the level 1 as well. The walls are built up higher, and there's things going on inside here as well. A bigger internal building, but also got these here, which are like little, there's like a little archery range type of thing going on here, which is very, very cool. We also have a second area here to do building of a guard tower, so we're actually going to get that done straight away, and let's hit that building, and then we'll have 2 guards in here, which will be very, very cool. Also, we've got a little area here. Not entirely sure what this is meant to be, but just a little area, just an area. And also we have this for them to fight and practice on. So, yeah, the level of detail here is awesome, as always, and very, very cool. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how this is going to look once that second guard tower is built. So then we'll have 2 guards in there as well, which is good, because we do have 1 person unemployed at the moment. So let's see, not much needed at all. We can do this on camera, actually. And I also will need to get them some armor and things like that. So we'll take care of all of this stuff, basically. Now let me see. So it was 17 dark oak slabs, which we will have some of those over the way, and 4 of the planks. So I think these are the dark oak ones, right? Yep, there we go. And then a red bed, and I think we have enough wool from the last time to do that. And we can use some of this. Never short on wood when we just need generic wood. You see we've got 30,000 of those redwood logs because of the biome we're living in and because of the SilentGear tools with the stone lumber axe. So yeah, that's one huge benefit of living in this very wood-filled biome. And something you might want to consider when you're starting out your town is living in a forest might not be a terrible idea and clearing it out, because you're going to need to do a lot of wood cutting anyway, and that will give you a lot of the resources that you need, of course. 17 of those, so another 5 here, and we're good to go. There you go, 1 for luck as well, and we'll get that built. Now, in terms of the armor, obviously, when your villagers, citizens, as they level up and stuff, you can give them better and better armor. But to start off with, they're going to need either leather or gold. So I did make a gold farm in this series, and there's a video on that. I think I may have streamed it, or maybe I did. I don't know. If not, there'll be a video on that. But yeah, so making a gold farm might not be a terrible idea. Now, there's a video on my channel on how to make a gold farm, and that does work. If you want to just search Kysen gold farm, you will find that. For now, we're going to get all of this stuff here, and we have a sword as well. We do. We'll just give a stone sword. It'll last a bit longer. And we're going to give that to the new guard that I hired. And this I did off camera a second ago in this guard tower over here. You can see they're asking for stuff. So we can go and check this out now. This is a lane. Okay. Yeah, I'll work on all this stuff. So just requesting a bow, actually, interestingly enough. Well, let me see. If I give you all this stuff, I think you'll put it on. And then we can get you a bow as well. But is this, let's see, if I go into the guard tower here and we go through to here. Okay, so at the moment, because it's a ranger, that's why he wants the bow as opposed to the sword. So we could, if we wanted to, change this to a knight, and then he would want a sword instead. Okay, so now that he's a knight, he's got his sword and should put on his armor, I think, because I believe they can use the gold armor early on. So I do want to kind of just keep an eye on him, see if he's going to. He's straight out and about to work, though. He's got his sword now, so he's ready to go. When I gave, where is it? Here we go, here's Asher. He's put on his leather armor straight away there. So, yeah, we'll have to check this out and see what happens. But at the moment, they're just sort of patrolling this area anyway. So, I guess they're checking out their new digs. And, oh, there we go. He put it on in his sleep. He was a sleepwalking armor putter on her. And, yeah, so we're going to wait until this one here is built. And we will go ahead and get a new guard in there. Now, I've talked about a few useful farms to have early game, such as the sheep farm. Another one, or another 2, I should say, are the wheat farms. Ooh, we've got a new child. And the cow farm as well. So we've got a new child because we've been putting people into the guard towers, like I said, and they live there, and they live in the guard towers, so then it frees up a space in the house for someone new to be born. So that's how that works. So you see here I've got my cow farm, so we're going to go ahead and finish all these. Oh, and he's finished building the thing as well, so we'll check that out in a second. We're going to breed all of these guys up, because you're going to want a lot of leather armor early game, because you're not going to have a gold farm early game. So that leather farm... Oh, hang on, just accidentally got on the donkey. So the leather armor... Oh, we're going to move these guys out of the way and get this out here. Yeah, the leather armor will be your friend early game. Plus, if you want to make bookshelves for enchanting it sort of thing, then that's going to be useful. Here's my wheat farm down near the sugar farm. Again, you can get the citizens to do this with the farm blocks that you can make. But I just decided to do it manually because it would be a little bit faster in the early game. And then I ended up getting so much that I haven't really needed to do much in terms of the citizen farming just yet. Okay, so let's have a look at how this is looking now. So we've got the second guard tower up there. Very, very nice. And let's see. If we go in here... can we hire anybody? We can. Adeline can come in here. and we're going to get her some gold armor as well. So we're actually now getting quite a few guards in the colony, which is awesome. So they will be obviously protecting our citizens, and it also helps with things like having a good employment rate and that sort of thing, because they all do want jobs. If they're not working, it does affect happiness. So it's kind of a twofold thing when you have a guard, because it allows them, it reduces the unemployment rate, so it makes them happy there. And also having guards in your having guards in your colony does make your citizens happier as well. So actually, if we're going to give a gold sword, maybe we'll give it 2, because they've not got the best durability. And obviously over time, as we level them up, we're going to go ahead and upgrade their armor as we go. But it can take a little bit of time to do that. And I think you can get a combat academy in to do that as well. But we'll worry about all that stuff in the future. Okay, so here's all of your golden things. There you go. You should be pretty happy now. Let's give you some steak as well to be eating. We're going to need to get lots of food to all of our different guards and citizens and things like that as well. Keep them all happy. But yeah, it's actually really taking shape, this area now, isn't it? It's really becoming quite nice. And I think what I'll do is we'll have a little sleep, and then I'll just hop into spectator mode and give you guys a bit of an aerial, because I kind of want to see that myself anyway, as to how that's actually looking as an overview. But I think it is going to be quite a nice area. And again, thank you for the suggestion from Mike in the previous episode when we built the barracks, who suggested we put that and integrate it with the walls there as like a door. That was a very cool idea. And I know I said it before, but of course, guys, do feel free to chuck suggestions down in the comments, or you can come and join one of my streams and suggest things on there. Okay, so let's go put our game mode into spec. Here we go, and let's have a little look here. Yeah, there we go. So here's like an overview. This is how it's looking right now with the towers and the barracks and stuff. It's starting to look a little bit more fortified. And eventually when we have that wall connected up, it's going to be really, really cool, isn't it? And yeah, the level 3 barracks will give us the 3rd tower. Level 4 will give us the 4th. So we do want to get up to that pretty quickly. The town in general is starting to really take a little bit of shape now, actually, I have to say. It's pretty cool. We've got these walls going around here, which are, I did show before, but I'll show those in specky mode. But also, once we do that on the other side as well, so we've got the barracks all built up with those big walls, and then down here, not more like big walls coming down. I think this is going to look really fortified and really cool. Now, the floating trees, I do need to get rid of all these. It's going to be a bit of a pain to do. So yeah, I'm going to have to, I guess, get like a creeper farm at some point. So I've got loads of gunpowder for rockets in my elytra. And using elytra to fly around up there. Maybe use some ender pearls as well. We were making an enderman farm on the last stream, and I will finish that in a future stream. So yeah, once we get all that stuff set up, we can take all those down. Someone did suggest doing it in creative mode as well, just to get rid of them, but it felt a little bit cheaty. Other people suggested that we could make actual floating islands up there above the town, but I don't know how that'll look, because everything's very realistic. It's not very much a fantasy town, it's just a medieval town. So I'm not sure about the floating islands, but do suggest any suggestions you have down in the comments, guys, and I'll have a look at them. Okay, I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do next in this video a second, and then we'll come back in and get on with something else. So having reviewed today's footage and done a bit of video editing and that type of thing, I realised that this video is about 2 to 3 times as long as what I would normally do for a MineColonies episode. So I definitely think we've hit our goal today of doing a bit of a longer episode. And I would like to know down in the comments and things like that whether you guys enjoyed this longer episode or whether you prefer my normal shorter ones that are a bit more to the point and a bit more direct in their approach. So please do leave a comment or hit the like button if you did enjoy it, or give me some sort of feedback. It is appreciated. And it just gives me a good gauge on what you guys really want, which I do try and aim to please. The other thing to say is, if you're not following me on Twitch yet, or you're not in my Discord yet, the links to that are in my video description, and it would be great to have you over there. We're building a fantastic following on both of those areas. The Twitch, obviously, with the live streaming stuff, is a great place to come and hang out. You can ask me questions about MineColonies, or what I had for dinner last night, or whatever you like. It's just a cool place that we hang out and we do lots of Minecrafty things. And I mention that because the community around MineColonies has been absolutely amazing, and I do like to take a bit of time in all of my recent episodes to thank each of you for that, and also give you that opportunity to get more involved. I also do lots of giveaways on both of those platforms. So things like cash giveaways or razor gear or that type of thing. So, you guys could potentially be winning free stuff as well if you're interested in that. So thought I'd mention that today in this longer, more chilled episode, because if you've stuck it out this far, then you must be enjoying MineColonies, and it's probably a good place for you to consider coming. If you are new here and you have not yet subscribed, please do consider doing so as well. It really helps me out and is honestly greatly appreciated. And also, please do consider liking if you're enjoying this series or if you enjoyed this video. But for now, that is going to be about it for today. So as always, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.